Hey, good evening, guys. Happy Wednesday. Tom Clark over here at TFCIV MMA. We're here with a little Wednesday night special episode. We got a great fight night this weekend. Amanda Lemos versus Mariano Rodriguez. Real excited for that one. Going to be a real good one. But tonight we're actually going to focus on just doing kind of a breakdown prediction for a big fight that's been rumored that I'm hoping will get announced soon to be scheduled next year. I know you're saying, Tom, we got a bunch of fights already about to come up. Why are you doing a breakdown on this one? This is just one that really intrigues me, one I've really been thinking a lot about as of late, kind of how's it going to go, how's it going to be. So I'm real excited for this one, so figured I'd do a quick video on it. And that one's going to be Khamzat Chimaev versus Colby Chaos Covington. Rumored to be the 5-round co-main event for Usman versus Edwards 3. And winner of this fight will obviously get the title shot. Obviously, going into it, we have the 12-0 Khamzat Chimaev versus 17-3 Colby Chaos Covington. Khamzat coming off wins off Kevin Holland, Gilbert Burns before that, and Li Jingliang before that. Colby obviously 2-2 in his last 4 fights, but all 4 of those against high-level guys in that division. Both the losses coming against Kamaru Usman, which pound-for-pound king there for a while up until recently, so you can't really hold those ones too much against Colby. And then obviously wins off Tyron Woodley and Jorge Masvidal. And I'm real excited for this one, guys. Obviously, we break right into it. Khamzat, a great wrestler. Colby, a great wrestler. So really going to be a great matchup. I actually think this is one of the best tests for Khamzat in this division. Maybe the only person being a harder test, in my opinion, would be Kamaru Usman. I think Colby's actually a harder matchup for Khamzat than Leon Edwards would be. And I think he's right up there with Usman for a real tough test for Khamzat. I think that is because style-wise, obviously, Usman and Colby, both phenomenal wrestlers, 2 of the best MMA wrestlers. I mean, Usman got taken down for the first time in that last Edwards fight. And I know a lot of people, myself included, thought they probably should have counted Colby's takedowns. But officially, Usman got taken down for the first time in the last Edwards fight. And obviously, Colby, a phenomenal wrestler as well. So I think those guys will probably be the biggest test for Khamzat, especially because both those guys, great gas tanks, great cardio. Colby Covington especially, and Usman too. But that cardio is going to be a big what if, because can Colby Covington weather that early storm from Khamzat Chimaev? Obviously, size is going to play a big factor in this one as well. Khamzat Chimaev, I believe, is 6'2", with around 75-inch reach, if I remember correctly. And Colby Covington's coming in at about 5'11", with, I believe, a 72-inch reach. So not ginormous size differences, but still a couple inches. And I think we all know Colby Covington doesn't cut too much weight. Khamzat Chimaev cuts a whole bunch of weight. So obviously going to be a major size difference. Colby definitely going to have the cardio advantage, but Khamzat definitely going to have the strength, the power advantage. Both great wrestlers. I'd say Khamzat's the better wrestler, but I'd say the best way to put it is Khamzat's the more effective wrestler. Colby almost uses some of his takedowns as just ways to tire out his opponents. He obviously uses the ground control in great ways, but some of them are for the sole purpose of to get you down there. Colby's signature thing is he's going to find ways to drag you into deep waters. And Khamzat drags people into deep waters very early. Colby more prolongs it. Obviously, Colby Covington, not a finisher of a fight at all, really. Mainly always going to decision, but that's his style. And it works great for him. I mean, I've never seen a guy with such output for 5 rounds and not even breathing heavy after it. It kind of blows my mind, as we saw in the Masvidal fight. He didn't even look tired, and Masvidal's leaning up to the fence, arms around his corner. Colby's cardio's something else, but can he get through that early test of how dominant Khamzat's been? I mean, as we all know, with the exception of the Gilbert Burns fight, Khamzat Chimaev has only been hit once, and it was a very minimal strike. So it's hard to even count that one. Obviously, in the Burns fight, that was an all-out war. As I've said in previous videos, I was at 273 live. Watching that was phenomenal. Amazing fight. But I think we can all agree, Khamzat's fight IQ kind of went out the window after he dropped him with that jab. And I think that's kind of what caused him in that second round. He was trying to brawl with Gilbert. Gilbert's a tough SOB, man. He's not a guy you want to brawl with. A lot of fire in those hands, as we saw against Usman and a lot of Gilbert's previous knockouts. And we saw it when he caught Khamzat. He's got a lot of power in those hands, as we all know. But I think Khamzat collected himself, came into that third round, did very well, struck smartly with Gilbert, and controlled the pace, took that fight, and just an overall great performance. A lot of people said, well, how's Khamzat's ground game going to do against these elite opponents? He barely even tried to go to the ground with Gilbert. And I think that's mainly because Gilbert poses that submission threat with his phenomenal jiu-jitsu. As we know, Colby Covington really poses no submission threat. So I think Khamzat Chimaev would lean on the wrestling early. I think he probably could get Colby Covington down. I believe Colby Covington, last I checked, his career takedown defense is lower. I mean, he's able to get taken down. We saw it with RDA. We've seen Usman take him down. He doesn't get controlled for much, but he is able to be taken down. And as we've seen, Khamzat does pose submission threat with the rear naked choke against Jing Liang, the Darce just recently against Kevin Holland, and he's had some other submissions in his career as well. So I think that would obviously be a way that Khamzat could win it. Submission early, although it would be very tough. And then obviously on the feet, Khamzat's going to have a lot more power. But can Khamzat keep himself composed? We didn't see that in the Gilbert fight. He saw he got that power. He knocked Gilbert down. He was coming off a knockout, not the fight before that, but the fight before that, where he slept Mearshart with one shot. And then he knocks down Gilbert with a light jab, and that's where his fight IQ kind of went out the window. I think if Khamzat uses his power correctly, he definitely could knock out Colby Covington. We've seen Colby be able to be knocked out, obviously, with Usman. So it would be very interesting. Another real exciting aspect to this fight that I'm excited to see is both of these guys are so reliant on forward pressure. Colby has that cardio where he's in your face, throwing a ton of volume, and he's just always there. But Khamzat, it's not even a ton of volume. He's just so big, so forceful, so he stalks you down, and he has that Khabib-like pressure where he is always on you, whether it's on the ground, whether it's on the feet. He is rarely ever taking a step back. So that's one thing I'm real excited about in this fight. I obviously think Khamzat would be able to maintain the pressure, because just being the bigger guy, having more power in his hands, Khamzat's never been taken down before, so it'd be interesting to see if Colby could take him down. Colby's got great technique, but I think there is going to be a big strength barrier there where Khamzat's going to be the stronger guy. So I don't know if he'll be able to take him down. It's going to be a great fight. I'm excited to see it. Like I said, if it goes the distance, Colby could capitalize, but if Khamzat fights smart, he could also go the distance too. But I don't even know if I see Colby Covington getting out of that early round. I had a friend message me the other day. Shout out, Nick. Hope everything's going great down there in Virginia, buddy. He messaged me the other day, and he says, who you got in this one? Because he knows I've been a big Colby Covington supporter in the past. I really like Colby Covington. I've picked him in a lot of his fights. But I told him there is not a single fighter in 170 pounds, and I don't even think at 185 pounds, that I would pick over Khamzat Chimaev currently. Just to put it out there, put it out front. Are there some fights that I think would be closer than others, where I may be kind of reserved with who I'm picking? Yeah, the Izzy fight would be interesting to see how Khamzat handles a guy Izzy's size with that kind of distance management, with the striking, with the technicality that Izzy poses. Do I think Usman could be a tough fight for Khamzat? Yeah, but there is no one, gun to my head, that I'm picking over Khamzat Chimaev, just to be upfront and honest with you guys. Really high on him, have been since his UFC debut. And I frankly think in the fight with Colby Covington, I don't think the fight will go past 2.5 rounds, to be honest with you. I could see Khamzat finishing it in the first, but I think if he doesn't in the first, could definitely finish it in the second, whether it is by way of submission, a rear naked choke most likely, but possibly a Darce, or whether it is TKO. I see Khamzat getting it done, guys. That's just my personal opinion. Kind of let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know a lot of people are really high on Colby Covington for this one, think that cardio is going to be the game changer, and it definitely could be. I could be way off on this one, but I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev. I'm going by finish in the first, like I said, 2.5 rounds, maybe. Let's call it the first call it the first 3 rounds, sorry. Khamzat to finish him in the first 3 rounds. That's just my personal opinion, guys. But like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's anything you think I missed in this breakdown, any things that you could be game changers that I forgot to mention. And of course, subscribe to that channel, and I look forward to talking to you guys again this weekend. Thank you.